The acrid smell of burnt coffee filled the air as I stood frozen, my trembling hand clutching the phone. The kitchen floor felt ice cold against my bare feet, a stark contrast to the heat rising in my cheeks. My name is Olivia, and I just discovered my husband of 15 years has been leading a double life. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Pearson. The unfamiliar woman's voice crackled through the speaker. I thought you knew. I'm his wife, too. The world tilted on its axis. I gripped the counter to steady myself, knocking over a vase. It shattered, water and daisies spilling across the tile, a fitting metaphor for my life in this moment. Hello? Are you still there? The voice sounded uncertain now, almost afraid. I opened my mouth to respond, but no words came out. What could I possibly say to the other woman my husband had married? The one he'd hidden from me for God knows how long? My eyes darted to the framed photo on the wall, James and me on our wedding day, faces beaming with hope and promise. A promise he'd broken in the most unimaginable way. I need to go, I finally managed, my voice barely above a whisper. Wait, she exclaimed. Please, we need to talk about this. About James. About everything. My finger hovered over the end call button. In that moment, I faced an impossible choice. Do I hang up and pretend this conversation never happened? Or do I listen to this woman, this other wife, and unravel the web of lies my entire life had become? 3 months earlier, James had started a new job that required frequent travel. I'd been supportive, proud even, of his career advancement. Now those business trips took on a sinister new meaning. I'll miss you, he'd said before his last departure, kissing me goodbye. But it's only for a week this time. Had he said the same words to her? How many homes did he shuttle between, playing the devoted husband in each? My racing thoughts were interrupted by a tentative voice from the phone. Olivia? My name is Rachel. I think we both deserve answers. I took a deep breath, steadying myself. You're right, I said, surprising myself with the calm in my voice. We do. Over the next hour, Rachel and I pieced together the fragments of our shared life. James had married her 2 years ago in another state, crafting elaborate lies to keep us separated. As we talked, my initial shock gave way to a strange sense of solidarity with this woman I'd never met. What do we do now? Rachel asked, her voice small and lost. I looked at the shattered vase on the floor, at the wedding photo mocking me from the wall. In that moment, I made a decision that would alter the course of all our lives. We confront him, I said, a newfound strength in my voice. Together. 2 days later, Rachel and I sat side by side in my living room, waiting for James to return from his latest business trip. When he walked through the door, his face drained of color at the sight of us. Olivia, I can explain, he started, then faltered as he recognized Rachel. No need, I said, my voice steady. We've done all the explaining for you. What followed was a conversation that stripped away years of deception. James crumbled, his carefully constructed double life collapsing around him. As I watched him unravel, I realized something profound. The man I thought I knew had never truly existed. The real James was a stranger to us both. In the days that followed, Rachel and I forged an unlikely alliance. We supported each other through the divorce proceedings, the untangling of shared assets, and the emotional aftermath of James's betrayal. I never thought I'd say this, Rachel said one evening over coffee, but I'm glad I found out. Glad I found you. I nodded, understanding completely. We deserved the truth, even if it hurt. As we rebuilt our lives, I realized that the impossible choice I'd faced that day to confront the truth or hide from it had led to an unexpected outcome. I'd lost a husband, but gained a friend, and most importantly, reclaimed my own narrative. The common assumption that infidelity always destroys relationships had been challenged. In our case, it had forged a new one, built on honesty and shared experience. As I locked up my new apartment that night, I felt a sense of peace I hadn't known in years. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, it was truly mine.